as a human being, I got to lead, not follow. I got to educate myself, because fear, a decision made from fear, is almost always the wrong decision. So where does that start? It starts by seeing it as it is, not taking it casual, but also not seeing it worse than it is. Step two, see it better than it is. Right? Without a vision, people perish. If you don't create a compelling future, even though it's difficult now, you got to remember this is the season. Winter comes and winter goes. Some winters are hard, some are soft, some are long, some are short. But what always follows winter, thank God, is the springtime. What always follows the night is the day. You just got to work on yourself. I mean, for things right now, it's like we got to do our part. For things to change, my original teacher was a guy named Jim Rohn. He used to say to me, for things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. And I think if we can not just get out of the fear a little bit, that doesn't mean don't do what the government tells you. I don't want to be misinterpreting me. They're telling you to social distance. Whatever they tell you to do it, comply. But don't let fear control you. That's my message. And start to create a vision for where you want to go. And then the third step is make it the way you want to see it. And in order to do that, you've got to put yourself in a place where you're doing something to build up inside. We have to make our own decision. But the larger question is, you got to look and see examples, because what happens in our brain is when we're fearful, there's no way. And the answer is, you and I both started with nothing. We started with our ability to understand that we are not just the manager of our circumstances, that with God's power and help, we're the creator of our lives, right? We know how to create again. And you have to stop thinking about putting Humpty Dumpty back together again the same way, because it's not going to happen. So I can give you a dozen examples. People at this stage, you have to draw a line in the sand that says, I want to find the way to serve. If you're trying to figure to survive, and I understand you got to survive, but you'll never survive by focusing on survival. And our goal as humans, what makes us humane, what makes us the spiritual side of humanity, what makes us, I think, what we are, is our willingness and our desire to serve. We'll do more for others we love than we'll even do for ourselves. And the research now shows that if you will give, even to strangers that you don't know and never see again, the simple act of giving, because they can see by your saliva, they can check what hormones are stimulated in you. You can sit there and buy 10 people a cup of coffee or 5 people a cup of coffee you don't even know while you're standing in line. And the response and the biochemical uplift from that is stronger than if you would have gone and spent thousands of dollars, right, where you're doing it on yourself to get something. I was in India and I saw these children dying from waterborne diseases so easy to solve. So now we provide 250,000 people a year, my wife and I, 250,000 people a day rather, with fresh water. Our goal is to get to 1 million. Now you go, oh, easy for you, but this is the mistake people make. I did this when I had nothing, that's why I'm here. I can remember one of the worst days of my life where I was working my tail off, I was studying personal development, I was working with this guy, Jim Rohn, sleeping in my car, trying to figure out how to help people, but I was so frustrated. I'm studying all this, I'm working so hard, I got my little business here, why is it not growing, why is it not going? And I was feeling so sorry for myself, and I was driving back from Orange County, California, on the 57 freeway. We live in this place called Pomona, California, and late at night, nobody on the freeway, and I'm angry, frustrated, God, tell me why. And then I'll never forget the moment. I still have the journal. I pulled over on the side of the road and I wrote on one page, the secret to living is giving. I just started crying because I realized when I started, it was all about my giving, but then I got into success or failure and trying to pay my bills and all that stuff, and I forgot my real purpose. There's something inside you that is uniquely created by God that is superior. You may not have found it yet, but it's there, but not to make yourself feel superior, because that's fake and that's phony and that'll separate you. No, everybody has something that they're superior to. You got something that's there. So let's see how we can serve each other as brothers and sisters. And that's when people feel most alive anyway. What you get isn't going to make you happy. No. Who you become, that's going to make you really happy or really sad. And so you got to declare how you're going to live. And my hope is that coming out of this COVID, as the facts unweave, we get out of the fear mode. We're still going to have lots to fear, meaning like things that make us uncomfortable, but that won't get you through. It's your faith and your certainty and your action and your ability to innovate that's going to get you through. And so you got to feed your mind. And my original teacher, Jim Rohn, used to say, every day stand guard at the door of your mind. Mm-hmm. He'd say, look, if he said, Tony, what if your worst enemy puts sugar in your coffee? What's going to happen to you? I said, nothing, I got sweet coffee. He goes, what if your your family member, your friend, somebody who loves you accidentally drops one drop of strychnine in your coffee. I go, I'd be dead. He goes, that's right. So watch your coffee. He said, because you don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. Every day you got to stand guard at the door of your mind and make sure you're only putting things that defeat it. So that's why I started some simple rituals. Like every single day I start with my prayers, and then I get up and I do my workout, because getting your body going, fear is physical. So is courage. Courage is you're afraid, but you do it anyway. You push those muscles, you run, you jump in freezing water, you swim, you push some weights, you do something where you push yourself, and that strength comes back. And the body strength goes to the mind, the heart, the soul, and the spirit. So just some simple disciplines during this time for your viewers and listeners would be really important.